Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. I'm Ty Glenn. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Got lots of NHL news to discuss, so make sure that you stay tuned in to this episode until the end. And as always, do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe button if you are watching the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on YouTube. And if you are listening in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, make sure to follow the Hockey Talk TG podcast on there too. We are with you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, hit that follow button, so you can stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Hockey Talk TG podcast and the latest hockey news. Also, make sure to share each and every one of these episodes to your family, your friends, other people who are not subscribed or following the Hockey Talk TG podcast so that they can come in and tune in as well. And then they can share it with their friends and family, other relatives as well. Like I said, it's 2026. Let's continue to grow the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. And yeah, really helps me out in growing the podcast, which is something that I want to do in this new year of 2026. So make sure to follow the Hockey Talk TG podcast, whether that's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Also, make sure to share each and every one of these episodes that I put out. It really helps me out in growing the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started to the NHL news for today. So the Buffalo Sabres, they get back in the win column as they hold off the Vancouver Canucks with a 5-3 win on Tuesday. They improved to 22-15-4 of the season. They won 11 of their last 12 games, which came prior to their 10-game winning streak, which was snapped. I think this weekend the 10-game winning streak was snapped, but they get back in the win column with a 5-3 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Alex Tuch, he had a goal and assist for a 2-point night in this one. We also saw Zach Metsa scored his first NHL career goal. He was an undrafted player, currently 27 years old, so I'm pretty sure that's got to feel good for him to get his first career NHL goal. You always remember your first career NHL goal. Mr. TNT, Tage Thompson, he had a goal in this one. He'll be joining Team USA for the Olympics in Milan in February. Can't wait to see that, especially since he missed out on the Four Nations last year for Team USA. Ryan McLeod and Josh Stone had a goal in this one. Josh Stone goal was an empty net goal that sealed the deal, while Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen made 32 saves on 35 shots faced the net. And for the Vancouver Canucks, Jake DeBrusk, he had a power play goal in this one. Elias Pettersson and the new guy, Liam Ogren, had a goal in this one for the Vancouver Canucks, while Thatcher Demko made 15 saves on 19 shots faced the net. And the Canucks, and things have gone bad from worse for them. They lose their fourth straight game. They were 0-2-2 during the span. They lost 6 of their last 7 games, and they dropped to 16-21-5 of the season. Not to mention that they are 31st in the league. So ever since Rick Tocchet left the Vancouver Canucks, it's just gotten worse for them. And especially since Quinn Hughes left the Canucks, it has gotten worse for them. But I'm pretty sure Quinn Hughes is happy to be on a Stanley Cup contender team or a playoff contender team. Sorry if you're a Canucks fan. So I'm pretty sure that trade worked out well for him and for the Minnesota Wild fans because they get another top blue liner in Quinn Hughes. They had Brock Faber on their team. Now they had Quinn Hughes on the team, and now they have a great, solid defensive pairing. But anyway, the Canucks continue their 6-game road trip against the Detroit Red Wings on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The Sabres will head to Madison Square Garden on Thursday to take on the New York Rangers at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But now let's get down to the city of brotherly love as the Philadelphia Flyers take down the Anaheim Ducks with a 5-2 win in Philly on Tuesday, and they improved to 22-12-7 of the season. They extend their home point streak to 5 games in the process, in which they are 3-0-2 during the span. First game of a 4-game homestand for the Flyers, by the way, and 2 of those games they will play the Tampa Bay Lightning twice during their homestand. One of those games being this Saturday, January the 10th, and the other one being on Monday, January the 12th. Both of those games coming on at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Flyers are looking like an absolute wagon in this one. And this season, they're looking like an absolute wagon this season as they are currently in third place in the Metropolitan Division. Just 1 point, at least the last time I checked. They probably might have, I don't think it's changed now, but the last time I checked, the Flyers were in third place in the Metro Division. 1 point above the Washington Capitals and 2 points above the Pittsburgh Penguins for that third place spot in the Metropolitan Division. And both the Caps and Pens are in a wild card spot. Hopefully this be another year where we get to see Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I don't think last year, I think the Caps made the playoffs last year. Well, actually, I don't think they did. I don't think neither the Caps or the Penguins made the playoffs last year. But hopefully this year they do. So we get to see one more year Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin in the playoffs together. Trevor Zegras scored twice against his former team. He's up to 17 goals of the season. One of those goals coming on the power play. I'm pretty sure that had to feel good for Trevor Zegras when he was asked about playing against his former team and scoring those 2 goals. He said effing amazing. So I'm pretty sure he loved it as well. To play against his former team. I'm pretty sure that at the same time also had to feel kind of weird for him because you spent your first few seasons in Anaheim and now you're in a different orange jersey playing for the Philadelphia Flyers. But he's loving it in Philly. He's a great fit in Philly, and I'm pretty sure Flyers fans like him better than Carter Gauthier. So, yeah. Cam York and Nikita Grebbenkin each had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. Travis Sanheim also had a goal for Philly in this one, while Dan Vidar made 16 saves on 18 shots faced the net. And for the Anaheim Ducks, former Tampa Bay Lightning forward Alex Killorn, he had a power play goal in this one for the Anaheim Ducks. And that's his 4th goal of the season. And you won't believe who scored the other goal for Philly. Public enemy number 1 in Philadelphia, the villain himself, Carter Gauthier, also scored for the Ducks. That goal coming on the power play on a one-timer from above the right circle. 4 minutes and 15 seconds in the first period. 20th goal of the season and his first against the Flyers in 3 games. So he got booed so hard in that one. Carter Gauthier, like I said, he's public enemy number 1 in Philadelphia. He's the villain in Philadelphia. And the reason why, to those who don't know, why is Carter Gauthier being hated so much in Philadelphia when he comes to play against the Flyers? Well, reason number 1, he was drafted by the Flyers, but he refused to play for them, he refused to sign with them, and he refused to get in any contact with them whatsoever. He was drafted by the Flyers, 5th overall in 2022 NHL draft, but he never signed a contract, he never talked to the team, he didn't want anything to do with the team. And Flyers fans saw this as a rejection, as a betrayal, because he was their top pick, and he did not want anything to do with the team. And so he wanted out of Philadelphia, and he got his wish. He was traded to the Ducks on January 8th of 2024, almost 2 years to the day that he was traded and out of Philadelphia. So he was traded to the Ducks on January 8th of 2024, like I said, almost two years to the day that he was traded for defenseman Jamie Drysdale and a draft pick. So he was happy to get out of Philadelphia. Flyers fans were happy to see him leave Philadelphia. And yeah, it was just like a lack of respect that he had with the organization. He didn't want anything to do with the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm not sure why the reason is, especially him being a top 5, top 10 pick. I'm not sure why he didn't want to sign with the Flyers. I didn't really get that idea whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure he's regretting now, because the Flyers are one of the top 3 teams the Flyers are one of the best teams in the league right now. Like I said, they're an absolute wagon. And I'm pretty sure if you guys missed my bold predictions video on TG Hockey Channel, I said that this will be the year that the Flyers will make the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think I said that as a bold prediction this year because they added Rick Tocchet as their head coach, which you all know the success he had with the Vancouver Canucks. He led them to a Pacific Division title 1 year, and they also brought in Trevor Zegras. They have Matvei Michkov on their team now, They made some changes in the offseason of 2025, and I felt like because of those changes, we will see the Flyers as a playoff team, and it's certainly looking like that right now. So, third place in the Metro Division, and I believe the Flyers will keep getting more wins, and pretty soon that they will be a playoff team. I can see this Flyers team making the playoffs. It's just like I said before the season has started. I said the Flyers would be a playoff team, and so far it is looking like that. But yeah, anyway, Carlo Gauthier got the boo treatment he deserved in Philadelphia. There was also a couple of Flyers fans using profanity against Carlo Gauthier, so he is not welcome to Philadelphia. After the way he disrespected the organization, didn't want to sign with them. After being a top 5 pick in the draft, he didn't want anything to do with the Philadelphia Flyers. He just said, "Get me out of here." And he got out of there, and I'm pretty sure Flyers fans were happy to see that, especially not communicating or talking with the team whatsoever. Lucas Dostal, he made 34 saves and 38 shots faced the net. Ducks forward, Ross Johnson, he was assessed a 5-minute major in a game misconduct after a collision with Flyers defenseman Jamie Drysdale in the second period, which Jamie Drysdale did not return after the hit. So this game was kind of physical as well. They also lost Bobby Brink due to an upper body injury. The Flyers lost Bobby Brink due to an upper body injury following a hit by Ducks forward Jansen Harkins at 2 minutes and 32 seconds of the first period. And the Ducks, things continue to get worse for them as they lose their 7th straight game. They're 0-6-1 during the span, and they dropped to 21-19-3 of the season, which is crazy to think about for the Anaheim Ducks, because the Ducks' record in the first 2 months of the season, so from October to November, they were 15-9-1 in those first 2 months to start the 2025-26 NHL season, which we were all shocked at the time that the Ducks were in first place, but I'm pretty sure some people weren't, because there was this one person I was talking to, and he said that when Joe Quenneville got hired to coach the Ducks, he would see the Ducks in first place in the Pacific Division. And at the time of the season when they were 15-9-1, they were in first place in the Pacific Division. That was their record in the first 2 months of this season. Since then, they are 6-10-2. So after starting off the season with a surprise start, and this whole season in general has been surprising, by the way, but after starting the season with that start, we were like, yep, the Ducks are back. The Quack Attack is back. This team is going to be in the playoffs. But now they have sunken down to reality, where this team does not make the playoffs. They're still in their losing ways, and they're, like I said, 21-19-3 the season. But since that 15-9-1 record, they're now 6-10-2. So they got still a long way to go. Even though we're in January, there's only like three more months left of hockey. So Ducks still have a little bit of time to turn this around and get back into a playoff spot, because points are going to be at the essence. By the time when March rolls around, I'd probably say when March rolls around, points are going to be at the essence at that point. So, but yeah, still lots of time for the Ducks to turn their season around and get back in the win column and be the team that we saw in the first 2 months of this season. The Ducks continue their 4-game road trip in Carolina against the Hurricanes on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The Flyers continue their 4-game homestand against the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But now moving on for the city of brotherly love to Long Island, as Anthony Duclair, he notched a hat trick as the Islanders laid a beating on the New Jersey Devils and win 9-0 against the New Jersey Devils. So it was just an all-out beating for the Devils. Like, they got absolutely crushed by the Islanders, 9-0. For Anthony Duclair, this is his 4th career hat trick and his first since December 14th of 2019. He was playing for the Ottawa Senators at the time. He also had 2 assists for a 5.9, which his 5 points in this game had notched the career high for him. And the Islanders improved to 24-15-4 of the season. They won 2 in a row, and they won 3 of their past 4 games. Matthew Barzal, Tony DeAngelo, Casey Cizikas all had 3-point nights in this one. Matthew Barzal, Tony DeAngelo each had a goal and 2 assists for a 3-point night. Casey Cizikas had 2 goals and assists for a 3-point night. Callum Ritchie and Simone Holmstrom also scored for the Islanders in this one, while Ilya Sorokin made 45 saves in this one for the shutout win. 4th shutout of the season for Ilya Sorokin in 26 in the NHL, passing Glenn Vesk for most in Islanders history. And this is his first game back from a lower body injury. He was activated off of IR, or injured reserve for those who don't know what that stands for. He was activated off of IR on Friday, and this was his first start since December 19, and he certainly made an impact right away. For the Devils, Jacob Markstrom made 15 saves on 24 shots facing net for the Devils. He stayed in this one throughout the game. Sheldon Keefe did not put in the Devils' backup goalie for him. It was all Jacob Markstrom in this one. In this game, gave up all 9 goals in this one. So he was in this game for a while. I'm pretty sure he wanted to leave after the 5th goal was scored on him, but he ended up staying in for the entire game. Devils have lost 2 in a row. They're 2-5-1 in their past 8 games, and they dropped to 22-19-2 this season. 5th time this season that the Devils have been shut out overall, though. And what's even a crazier part about this is that they outshot the Islanders in this game 44-24, and they still couldn't take down Matthew Schaefer and the New York Islanders. So even after outshooting them in this one, 44-24, outshot them by 20, by the way, they still couldn't get a win over the Isles. That is so crazy. But they continued their 4-game road trip in the Steel City against Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So looking for a bounce-back win after they got crushed in this one on Long Island. The Islanders will be in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, Thursday to play the Predators for the start of a 7-game road trip at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. That game will air on Hulu and ESPN Plus for you guys to watch. Moving on to the Golden Knights and Jets game. Tomas Hertl, he scores the overtime game-winning goal as the Golden Knights win 4-3 in overtime against the Jets on Tuesday. Score on the power play with 12.8 seconds remaining in overtime, and Vegas moves to 18-11-12 of the season. Both of these teams were entering this game on losing skids. Obviously, the Golden Knights losing 5 in a row, and the Jets losing 9 in a row. But it will be the Golden Knights with the upper hand in this one as they end their 5 games losing skid, which they were 0-3-2 during the span. So both teams really needed to get a win in this one. The Jets were the one that needed to get a win the most because, like I said, going into this one, they lost 9 in a row. Golden Knights lost 5 in a row. So they really need to get a win in this one, and they fell once again, this time to the VGK, Vegas Golden Knights. Mark Stone, he had a goal in this one, scored in the power play for his 13th goal of the season. He also extended his goal streak to 5 games. Brett Howland and Riley Smith scored for Vegas in this one as well, while Carter Hart made 17 saves on 20 shots faced in net. For the Jets, Luke Shen, Kyle Connor, and Cole Perfetti scored for Winnipeg, while Connor Hellebuck made 27 saves on 31 shots faced in net. And for the Jets, their losing streak extends to 10 games. They lost 10 in a row, 0-6-4 during the span, and they dropped to 15-21-5 of the season. Their last win was on Saturday, December the 13th, against the Washington Capitals, which was a 5-1 win for the Jets at home, and now they lose at home, and now they losing this one. What is going on with the Winnipeg Jets? This was a team that won the President's Trophy last season. Last season, they took home the President's Trophy, and then they got eliminated by the Dallas Stars in the second round of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. It just seems like Winnipeg always has a great team every year. At least for the past few seasons, they always had a great team. Now this year, it's a whole different story. They're actually last in the league, by the way. I think I saw them last in the league. The last time I checked at the standings, they were last in the league. So I don't get what's wrong with Winnipeg. Yep, look at this, guys. Look at this. Like, hold on. Look at this. Last in the league. What is going on with Winnipeg? I don't get it. Like, they always have a great team. Like, the past few seasons, they always had a great team. Connor Hellebuyck was one of the top 10 goalies in the NHL. During those past few seasons, he's won some Vezinas before. Jets always have a great offense, and now things have just and all the way down the drain. Like, I don't get it. Especially winning the President's Trophy last season, they end up losing like this and being last in the league. It is crazy to think about. If you're a Jets fan, please let me know what is wrong with your team. What do you think the Jets need to do to fix the team and get back in the win column and get back in the playoff spot? Because it is great. It is crazy to see that the Jets are dead last in the league. Like, that to me doesn't make any sense. The Jets continue their 5-game homestand against the Edmonton Oilers on Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The Golden Knights will return home at T-Mobile Arena to play the CBJ Columbus Blue Jackets on Thursday at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Other games on the slate from Tuesday, the Lightning win 4-2 against the Colorado Avalanche. For the Avalanche, this is their second straight loss after going on a 13-game point streak. They lost the other game against the Florida Panthers 2-1 on Sunday. We recapped that game on Monday's episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. For them, this is their second straight loss and first consecutive loss for them since April of 2025. The Stars win 6-3. I mean, not the Stars, the Hurricanes, excuse me. The Hurricanes win 6-3 against the Dallas Stars in this one. Logan Stankoven, he had a goal against his former team. He did play for Dallas before. Mikko Rantanen, couldn't say the same about him. He was also booed in this game, by the way. For those who don't know, he was traded from the Hurricanes to the Stars last year at the deadline after being acquired by the Colorado Avalanche. So he was playing for 3 teams last season: Avalanche, Hurricanes, and the Stars. He didn't do as well as people expected of him in Carolina, and I think he even said himself that the Hurricanes was not one of the teams that he didn't want to play for. Like, he didn't want to play for the Hurricanes. So I'm pretty sure that was another reason why he got booed, because he made that public statement saying that there was a few teams that he wanted to play for, and the Hurricanes was not one of them, not even on his list. Maple Leafs, they win 4-1 against the Florida Panthers. The Oilers take down the Nashville Predators 6-2. They actually won 15 of the last 19 games against Nashville. And then I remember, like, me going, like, Oilers and Predators at Bridgestone Arena. Connor McDavid had a goal in that one. He had a highlight reel goal in that one, by the way. And the Oilers won that one against Nashville. So the Oilers have had the Predators' number of late against them. When it comes to these two teams playing against each other, the Oilers had the upper hand. They won, like I said, they won 15 of the last 19 games against Nashville. And Connor McDavid had a hat trick in this one. His 14th career hat trick. And one of the goals that I like for them was that penalty shot goal on UC Saul's. Like, you should go, the NHL, I'm pretty sure, has uploaded this clip on their social media account. You should go back and watch that penalty shot goal on for Connor McDavid on UC Saul's. Man, oh man, what's that really say? Just look at the hands, look at the motion that he's in, and puts it past UC Saul's. I might share that clip in my YouTube description, also Spotify description, for you guys to watch. That is a sick penalty shot goal. So NHL has posted this on their social media accounts. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to go check out that goal. That was one of the goals that I really liked from his hat trick performance. The first goal that he scored and the hat trick goal was good goals too, but that penalty shot goal was just something else, man. It's like unreal. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins notched his 500 career assist in this one. This was on Connor McDavid's hat trick goal against the Predators. And the Oilers outshot the Preds 43-26 in this one. It seems like game after game after game, Nashville gives up the first goal in this one. So that's something that they need to fix as they start this 4-game homestand against the New York Islanders on Thursday. The Kraken wins 7-4 against the Bruins. Berkeley Catton with his first 2 career NHL goals in this one. Capo Caco also had a 2-goal game. And the Kraken complete a perfect back-to-back set. They won 5-1 against the Flames on Monday. And now going into this game against the Boston Bruins at home, they win 7-4. And in the last game, the Sharks win 5-2 against the Columbus Blue Jackets at home. But now let's get into some World Juniors talk, as we'll recap the bronze medal game first, and then we'll recap the gold medal game after that, and then we'll get into the NHL games on the slate, and then we'll wrap up the Hockey Talk with TG podcast for today. Canada, they hold off Finland with a 6-3 win in the bronze medal World Junior Games. This is their first time since 2012 that Canada has took home the bronze medal. And also the first time since 2023 that Canada has won a medal in general. They won the gold medal against Czechia that year. Connor Bedard was on that Team Canada team that year. Man, oh man, one of those good times to watch, to see Betsy on Team Canada helping out. I wish it would have made Team Canada this year for the Olympics in Milan, but Team Canada made a mistake on not selecting him. But I think I heard Elliot Friedman, I think he tweeted this out, I'm not sure, that Connor Bedard is a injury replacement for someone on Team Canada. But I still think he should have made the roster. He shouldn't have to be an injury replacement. He should have already been on the roster. But Team Canada ended up passing on him. But when he was on the World Juniors with Team Canada, he was so fun to watch. Man, oh man, can I go back to those times? He had that highlight reel goal. I think this was against I think this was against Russia or Slovakia, where he scored that overtime goal. I'm forgetting who was it against. I think it was against Slovakia, where he had that unbelievable overtime goal that year. World Juniors Connor Bedard was a lot of fun to watch. Those were good times. Those were most definitely good times. But yeah, ever since Canada won the gold medal in 2023, things have not been looking good for them. As 2024 and 2025, they were eliminated by Czechia in the quarterfinals in back-to-back years. They also had a heartbreaking upset loss against Latvia in the World Juniors of last season. So I thought this was going to be the year that Canada reaches the top, especially with Team USA getting eliminated by Finland. I wish we could have gone for the 3P, but it is what it is. But I thought Canada would be a strong team this year to get back to the top. This was their revenge tour, and unfortunately they end up falling short. Well, they won the bronze medal, so I'm pretty sure that's something to be happy about. But obviously you want to go all the way to the top and win the gold medal. But at least they took home the bronze, so shouldn't really complain too much right there. But anyway, Guy McKenna and Michael Hayes had great performances in this one. Each of them had 4 points. Guy McKenna, he had a goal and 3 assists for a 4-point night. Michael Hayes had 4 assists for a 4-point night. Sam O'Reilly, he scored twice for Canada. Porter Martone had a goal for Canada in this one. And Zane Perek had a goal and assist for a 2-point night for Canada. And fun fact, Zane Perek has set a new World Juniors record for most points by a Canadian defenseman. And so he passes the previous Canadian record held by Alex Pietrangelo and Brian McCabe for most points by Canadian defensemen in the World Juniors. He had 13 points in 7 games throughout this tournament. 5 goals, 8 assists for 13 points in 7 games throughout this World Juniors tournament for Zane Perek. Calgary Flames draft pick, by the way. Braden Coates, or Coots, I don't know how you pronounce that last name, Coates or Coots. He had a goal in this tournament. And TJ Ginla, Veroff, and Liam Greentree had an assist in this game, while Carter George made 32 saves on 35 shots faced in net. For the Finns, Arttu Valala, Julius Maitinen, and Hekai Vohonen. If I'm not pronouncing these names right, please correct me in the comments. But Arttu Vala, Julius Maitinen, and Hakai Volin had the goals for Finland this one, while Peter Rippinen made 28 saves on 34 shots faced the net. Overall thoughts on this one? Like I said, I just had high hopes and expectations for Canada. I thought this was going to be the year that they can get it done after back-to-back loss in the quarterfinals the past 2 years before, and not to mention that they had a really stacked team like they do every year. I thought this is going to be the year that Canada would get all the way to the top, especially with Team USA getting eliminated by Finland. But as a USA and American fan, I was happy to see that Canada took home the bronze against Finland, and Finland not winning anything since they eliminated Team USA and stopped them for going for the three-peat. But yeah, this was a great World Juniors this one. I'm hoping Team Canada could at least win one more gold medal next year. At least next year. In the 2027 World Juniors, they might win another gold medal. But we'll just have to see how everything goes for that. Moving on to the gold medal game between Sweden and Czechia. So Sweden takes home the gold medal at the World Juniors on Monday. They win against Czechia by a final score of 4-2. And fun fact, this is the first time since 2012 that Sweden has captured a gold medal championship. This is their third gold medal overall. They won in 1981, and like I said already, they won in 2012, and now winning in 2026. And another fun fact, this was the first all-European final matchup since 2016. And I believe that year was, I think, Russia and Czechia going at it. I'm not sure about that one. I could be wrong. Yeah, and another fun fact, this is the first time in over a decade that USA or Canada has not competed for a gold medal. If you take a look at the years before, last year it was USA and Finland. USA won. 2024, USA and Sweden. USA won. 2023, Canada, Czechia. Canada won. 2022, Canada and Finland. Canada won. 2021, USA and Canada. Oh, it's a great match to see USA and Canada go at it in the Hockey Olympics and World Juniors. But anyways, USA won that year against Canada. 2020, Canada, Russia, Canada won. 2019, Finland, USA. Finland won, but it was still USA in the matchup. 2018, Canada and Sweden. Canada won. And 2017, USA and Canada. USA won. And then 2016 was not USA and Canada. It was Finland and Russia, and Finland won, but USA finished in third place that year, but they weren't in the gold medal game. And another fun fact in this one, I'm just spitting out fun facts in this one, today's episode of the Hockey Talk TG podcast, but Sweden actually finished the tournament 7-0, never lost a game in this tournament, so that's really impressive to see from Sweden and the growth of the Swedish talent down there in Stockholm, Sweden, and other parts of Sweden. So they were undefeated in this World Juniors tournament, which, like I said, is really impressive to see. I never seen that before, where a team just finishes the tournament 7-0, undefeated in the tournament. That's something I never seen before until now. So really great job by Team Sweden, by the way. And as a Blackhawks fan, really happy to see Anton Fundell get a gold medal in this one, being a gold medal champion. He has a bright future with the Chicago Blackhawks. Ivan Stenberg, he had a goal and 2 assists for a 3.9 this one. He had to enter that goal to seal the deal. Victor Eklund had a goal and an assist in this one for a 2.9. New York Islanders draft pick, by the way, in the 2025 NHL draft. He was drafted 16th overall by the Islanders in the first round of the NHL draft. Sasha Boyan Aini, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that last name wrong, but he had the game-winning goal in this one. He had the goal that made it 3-0 Sweden. Winnipeg Jets draft pick in the 2025 NHL draft. By the way, he played his college hockey at BU, Boston University. Kasper Justusvara had the opening goal this one for Sweden. Jack Berglund, who is the team captain of Team Sweden this one. And Viggo Bjorček, they had 2 assists in the win, while Love Hornstam made 27 saves on 29 shots faced the net for Sweden. For Czechia, Adam Juracek and Matt Kubicea scored for Czechia. Vaclav Nestrov Chicago Blackhawks draft pick, by the way, in the 2025 NHL draft. So another Blackhawks prospect played in this gold medal game. And Vicek Cherub, they notched assists in this one. Jacob Fabergear notched 2 assists, while Michael Ostruk made 31 saves on 34 shots facing net. And despite Czechia losing in this one, they have won 4 straight medals in the World Juniors. So in 2022, they took home the bronze medal. 2023, they took home the silver medal. 2024, they took home the bronze medal. 2025, they took home the bronze medal. And 2026, they take home the silver medal. So they have won 4 straight medals in this one. But the one that they want the most is the gold medal one. So, yeah. Take a look at the World Juniors Awards. Tournament MVP was Vicek Sihar. So even despite the Team Czechia losing, he earned the Murray Costello MVP award for his standout performance in this tournament. He led Czechia with 12 points in 7 games, so he was the most productive forward in this one. He was 4th overall in point scoring. First was Michael Hayes, who was on Team Canada with 15 points. Guy McKenna, Team Canada with 14 points, and Zane Perek on Team Canada with 13 points. Best Goalie Award, Love Hornstrom for Team Sweden. He took home Best Goalie Award for his steady and timely saves throughout this tournament. Best Defenseman Award, Adam Churches of Team Czechia. He was recognized as Best Defenseman in this one. Best Forward Award, and as a Blackhawks fan, I gotta be happy about this one. Anton Fundell earned the Best Forward Award, reflecting his strong two-way play and key contributions in this tournament. He had 8 points in 7 games throughout this tournament, so 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points in 7 games throughout the World Juniors tournament. Overall thoughts on World Juniors as a whole, obviously a great tournament every year. It's like waking up on Christmas morning. These tournaments happen every year from December 26th to January the 5th. And it's just a great tournament to see every year. The next generation of hockey, the next prospects, the next big-time players in hockey, in the NHL, all playing on this stage at this level. It's really awesome to see. And as a Blackhawks fan, I really hope to see Anton Fundell and Vasyl Nestrov on the roster very soon. Bright futures ahead of them for the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 great players, and it was fun watching them this year in the World Juniors just to see what they're made of and how I think they will contribute to the Chicago Blackhawks when the time comes. But yeah, this was a great tournament. As always, I was really hoping that Team USA would go for the 3-peat. Obviously, not happening in this one. And then I was also hoping that Team Canada can get to the gold medal game. But unfortunately, it was another heartbreaking loss for Team Canada in this one. So, yeah, as an American, I'm kind of always cheering for Team Canada as well. So, I cheer for Team USA the most because obviously I'm American. Then I cheer for Team Canada as well because they always have such a great team. It's always fun watching them as well. But unfortunately, none of those teams had reached the gold medal game. So. But yeah, it was still a great tournament overall, though. And like I said, as a Blackhawks fan, happy for Anton Fundell for getting the gold medal. And Vasyl Nestrov, even though Team Czechia had lost, he still played great in this tournament. He has, and like I said, a bright future ahead for the Chicago Blackhawks. Taking a look at the NHL games on the slate for today. There's only 5 NHL games on the slate for today. Got the Dallas Stars taking on the Washington Capitals at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. This will air on TNT and HBO Max for you guys to watch. Followed by the Calgary Flames taking on the Montreal Canadiens at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And then we got a Central Division showdown between the St. Louis Blues and the Chicago Blackhawks. Good old rivalry right there. Coming on at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. This will air on TNT, 2TV, and HBO Max. Hopefully we can get Brady Shen back for injuring Connor Bedard in the game against St. Louis with a dirty cross-check. He did a dirty cross-check to Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard fell on the ice. He dislocated his shoulder. Hopefully we can get Brady Shen back in this one, at least for Connor Bedard. But yeah, this will air on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. We had a game on TNT before. This was in St. Louis where the Blackhawks beat the Blues 8-3. Hopefully we can get another win on TNT against the St. Louis Blues. We'll just have to see how everything will go. And then we got the Ottawa Senators taking on the Utah Mammoth at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And then it's a Battle of California showdown, a Pacific Division showdown between the San Jose Sharks and the LA Kings at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. The Sharks played last night against the Blue Jackets. They won 5-2. Can they get a win over the California rivals, the LA Kings? We'll just have to see how everything will go. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe on the YouTube channel, and make sure to follow the Hockey Talk TG podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. We're with you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time, 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, if you will. Thumbs up this episode if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to go following Hockey Talk TG podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, so you can stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Hockey Talk TG podcast. Like I said, episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time. And then if you're living in Eastern Time, then 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Both of you guys have a great rest of your day. Keep God first as always. Be blessed. I'll see you guys on Friday for another episode of the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. Take care.